This keyboard is not for me. It's different. Different in the sense that I'm not the target market for this board. The IQUNIX OG80 Dark Side is a pre-built 75% mechanical keyboard that offers a premium unboxing experience, premium looks and design, and premium switches and caps, all for the price of $179 USD. Will this suffice my mechanical keyboard wants and needs? Let's find out. Before unboxing this keyboard, I have to put out a disclaimer that IQUNIX did send this out for me to review, but that will not affect any opinions I have on this board, as always. I also have an affiliate link for them, so if you'd like to support the channel, head on over at iqunix.store/CaviteTech to check their products out. With that out of the way, let's proceed to unboxing this keyboard. Opening the stealthy looking box, we could see the board itself still encased in a plastic wrap for its safety. We'll get back to that later. For now, let's look at the accessories. Underneath this OG80 envelope that contains the manual and warranty information, we are greeted with a grid of accessories. Starting with the braided USB Type-C cable, a step above the quality of a typical OEM cable. Next up is a fairly generic switch and keycap puller combo, followed by a retractable cleaning brush, a USB Type-C to A dongle for those of you who use a laptop with only a Type-C, and finally are the Mac-specific keycaps for those of you who use an Apple computer mainly. Going back to the keyboard, we could see that it has a nicely fitted plastic cover included as well, for those times when it's not in use. As you can see, the variant I have is the dark side one, which comes in this translucent case, highlighting the smoky nature of the body. It also comes default with PBT double shot keycaps, which are so crisp and clean looking. More on that later. For now, let's discuss the OG80 and its many variants. The Darkside OG80 is only one of the many varieties IQUNIX offers on their website. I won't bore you with the details on the other boards, but to sum it up, they all vary with the types of staffs they use, the switches they have, and the overall colorway and design. At its core, the OG80 is a pre-built keyboard designed to lure newcomers into the hobby that don't necessarily want to tinker with their boards, or just wants a good out-of-the-box experience, period. The board I got costs around $179, but it can go as low as $159, depending on your design choice. And while that might sound expensive to some, I think it can be justified somewhat. More on that later. Weighing in at 1.1 kilograms, this is a heavy keyboard. The OG80 uses a unique layout I've never seen before. Think of it as a 65% without a blocker on the bottom, while slanted on the top is the escape key and a whole row of function keys without any separation. It's a nice design to look at and admire from afar, especially that rear lip. But in practice, it's kind of hard to get used to the function row as there's no separation between it, unlike a normal 75% layout. The escape, delete, and print screen were a delight to use, as it was easier to reach than a normal layout. Hopefully IQUNIX is listening and fixes my issue on the F row on the next revisions. Otherwise, it's an alright standard layout in my books, much better than an exploded one in my opinion. The design of the board screams to me. It looks so nice, especially its side angle with the lip on the rear. Looking at it front on, we could see the 75% layout I mentioned earlier. On the top left, the caps lock, tri-mode, and battery indicator is present, and it does shine bright. On the rear of that is a compartment for the tri-mode dongle, which is magnetically covered, though in my use, the magnets are kind of weak. To the right side, we see a badge indicating it's an OG80, and on the back we could see the grill-like design that reminds me of the zoom rocker from my lenses. Such a nice touch in my opinion. To the sides we could see the translucent nature of the case, while the back incorporates the 4 rubber feet, the OG80 sticker, and a tri-mode and wired mode switch just below that. If I had to nitpick on the design, it would be the sharpness of the edges, as I found that lifting this up causes my hands to hurt a little. Hopefully by the next revisions, they chamfer this a little bit. Besides that, the board looks and screams good looking to me. It doesn't look like any keyboard I have, and it's quite unique in that sense. The switches I got were the TTC Gold Pinks, and in my experience, they were smooth out of the box feel-wise, with a little bit of scratchiness in the sound department. I'd say, with an aluminum plate, they come up as a clacky switch. Not bad for a stock switch in this pre-built keyboard. The keycaps in this board are clean, concise, and sharp to my eye. The alphas are left aligned and have a nice serif font into them, while the mods are text only that I actually like. Walls are thick, and the blackness of the keycaps aren't faded. If these were the reasons why the board is expensive, I'd be alright with it. This might not replace my Shenfo sets, but it's a great set nonetheless. Sadly, the PCB and its mounting style is a con for me, as it's 2022 and it still has a north-facing PCB. It doesn't interfere with the included cherry profile keycaps and TTC switches. And on the upside, if you like some RGB and backlit keycaps, this is an alright board I guess. The stock stabs are plate mount and can't be changed to screw in sadly. Out of the box, the stabs were alright on the 2U mods, but the spacebar rattles even though it's pre-looped. A miss in my opinion. I've tested this board out for a whole week, starting with a full battery. Until today, as I'm editing this video, I haven't had any low battery warnings, and this is thanks in part to the 4000 mAh battery they squeezed in the board. No connection issues were recorded when I tried it out with both 2.4 and Bluetooth on my PC. It also has multiple lighting modes that I'll speedily cycle through now. As it is with the pre-built, the sound and feel of this keyboard is not much the top priority. It's a tray-mounted board with so many screws mounted on the plate. An upside though, is that it has plate foam in between the plate and PCB to reduce some hollowness on the board. And as much as I'd love to mod this out, the best I can do is to loop the stabs and change out the switches, as this board is not made to be opened without any serious repercussions. So with that information out of the way, let's hear it stock and modded with the tuned stabs. The stock sound does show some overall hollowness on the case. I wish IQUNIX put at least a dampening layer on the bottom, though it might interfere with the bottom translucent design. The stock stabs were bad to say the least. Thankfully lubing them up solves it. But remember, the target market of this keyboard is for those who want a great out-of-the-box experience. I think IQUNIX could do a better job on this department. Otherwise, the TTC Gold Pink sounds great even stock. I have no complaints there. Finally, let's try this board out with Nobelkey Cream's B2 provided by Curtbro Switches. If you haven't known yet, Curtbro sells modded stabs, switches, and more on their Shopee store. And using my discount code CaviteTech, you could save 5% off your order. Anyways, here's the sound test. In conclusion, this board from IQUNIX hits a different market not aimed for me. Don't get me wrong, it's such a nice looking board, and I was surprised with the unboxing experience. But with its north-facing PCB and tray-mounted design, I was expecting more for $179. But then again, for the price alone, I have such a premium keyboard with great stock switches and keycaps. The keycaps alone are a great selling point for this board. The tri-mode connectivity, long-lasting battery life, and its unique design really sets it apart compared to its similarly priced aluminum and wire-only competitors. If you're in the market for a keyboard that looks nice, sounds alright stock, and is willing to pay for it at a relatively higher cost, then this board is for you. I think IQUNIX is targeting those people in the market who might be looking at ROG or Corsair pre-builds and are just not liking their gamer design and wanted something more clean. And to that I say, they've hit it with this one. The OG80 and its many cousins is a great keyboard that could last if you're not into modding, and if you only want one portable and wireless keyboard for all of your devices, then this is it. For the rest of us who loves to tinker and loves different mounting styles, we shall look elsewhere. For now, that's been it. What are your thoughts on the OG80? Don't forget to use my affiliate links as they do help out the channel. And with all that said and done, once again, I'm John J. Villanueva, and I'll see you in the next video.